Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Simply Together show.
What was that?
No, I thought I couldn't hear you, and I was getting upset. I'm like, no, not today.
Oh my god. Welcome to the Simply Together show on the 4th of March. It's glorious. It's glorious out there again. It is sunny. Have you been out this morning, Shelley? Is it chilly?
Yes. Been out the dog? No, in the sun. You are perfectly. It was actually really quite warm for me, so you find it perfectly acceptable.
We still need a coat of some description.
Really
doesn't. So it's lovely, and I just think that just makes it all feel so much better. Because last week I said it was lovely, and then the next day it was grey and wet, and I just thought, oh, yesterday was so much better. So let's hope, fingers crossed, we get some more of days like this. So, how are you doing, Kelly?
I'm good, thank you. I actually woke up. My husband goes off to work on a Monday and a Tuesday at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I actually stayed pretty much awake since then. Weirdly, yeah, I don't know how long it's going to last, but yeah, I'm in quite a good
5 o'clock in the morning. That's when you're leaving. That's not even when he gets up.
Yeah, he decides to get up that early to get to Peterborough without any traffic. He could leave later, but he'll end up being in traffic. But
yeah,
he can even leave an hour later. But he decides he gets to work, and then he looks at the news and he has his breakfast and everything else before starting at 7. So
I can relate to that.
See, I'd just be going in the traffic because 5 o'clock is not a time to get up unless you're going on holiday.
He's a morning person. I'm an evening person. I don't know how the hell we've managed to last this long.
One offsets the other. It just kind of works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what they say. Opposites attract.
Yes, exactly. How are you doing, Nikkei?
I'm good, thank you. Like you, I'm really happy with the weather. My newfound acknowledgement that the weather doesn't affect my mood. So yeah, I'm well pleased. So I haven't been out yet today. I'm going out in the evening, so hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far are you walking?
It's not. I don't walk. It depends on the time. It usually, when I went in last evening, I probably went for about 20 minutes. It's longer the time because my objective, as I've said, is just to increase the steps from what I was doing last year.
Yeah.
So
do you want to walk my way and collect your containers, which I've now put in the car, ready for when I actually go out in the car to drop them off.
So they've walked out of town
and they've gone in the car.
I could walk your way. I could walk your way.
It's just absolutely.
I'm getting ready for Taekwondo. Yeah, right. As we're talking, I'm making a plan. I'm going to write it in my little planner. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
You're funny.
I know. I think I've missed my calling, haven't I? I could have been
100%. You 100% could have been a comedian. Honestly.
I wouldn't have got very far because I would just laugh at my own jokes. So there's no twin in that, is there?
Is that a reflection on how we're feeling today, Cecile?
Possibly.
Possibly. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really good. It's just nice to see the sun.
Yeah.
You know, I was awake at 3:50 today, going to the toilet, not by choice, and then went back to bed. See, 3:50 is the middle of the night, which is 5 o'clock as well. That's the middle of the night. But anyway.
It was starting to get light. It was actually really quite nice to see. And then because I was then still sat in bed having a cup of tea and everything else, you got the bird song and everything, which was quite nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely.
I wouldn't make a habit of it. It's nice today. I might crash out in between like
The two shows.
2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You need to get a bit of rest in between the two shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
today is Shrove Tuesday.
Yeah.
People are saying, what do you mean? What is that? What is that? It's Shrove Tuesday, or it's Pancake Day, or it's Pancake Tuesday. There's a whole load of names for it. Absolutely a whole load of names for it. So what does Shrove Tuesday mean? Who knows?
So, oh, I cut off there. Shrove Tuesday. Right, it depends on what eyes you're looking. If you're looking at with the hallmark eyes, as I call them, then it's literally just what you said. But it actually comes, obviously tomorrow is Ash Wednesday, which is the beginning of Lent. And so Shrove Tuesday, Shrove actually comes from the word shriv. I looked it up last night. It comes from the word shriv. And
Okay.
shriv means absolution after confession. So it kind of goes in with the whole idea of penitence and reflection and stuff like that, which is what we're supposed to be doing in Lent. And back in the day, like back in the day when they were really strict about the 40 days fasting, you didn't have all the rich foods like your fat and your meat and your eggs, especially the meat and the egg and the fat and the eggs. And so people use the flour, the milk, the eggs,
Okay.
the butter to get rid of all of those things before Lent.
Oh, so as Lent is starting tomorrow, you then got rid of all of those things today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Why we have
okay.
Lent?
Say again?
Does anyone know why we have Lent? What is Lent?
Why do we have Lent? Who knows why we have Lent?
but I don't want to hog the floor here. I've been reading about it because, like I said in the group yesterday, I'm actually going to be doing Lent this year for the first time in a long time. So
what is Lent for then?
So Lent is between the time of when Jesus was crucified on the cross, and then when he then
The
cross, and then when, because I'm trying to copy and paste something at the same time. Sorry, something really important, because it is Easter is the bigger thing than Christmas.
Yeah.
In the Christian calendar, because that's when he then rose again.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why you have a palm cross that's then burnt, and then you then have the ash that's then crossed on you. And then you go through Lent because it's a fasting to show how it was a fasting and everything else. And then you actually then have Easter.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because something that I read yesterday said that Lent is about the 40 days that he was in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So, and obviously had very little, if anything, to eat and drink, etc., etc. So that's why we then have Lent.
Well, actually,
Easter.
Yeah, what it is, it was only, sorry, I'm holding
Go
that. Adopted. I can't remember the date, but it was adopted into the official Christmas calendar because it wasn't there before. I beg your pardon, Christian calendar, because apparently it wasn't there before. And when you actually go to look at it, apart from when Jesus was in the wilderness fasting for the 40 days and 40 nights, there's not much other mention of fasting in the book. So apparently, according to the sources that I was looking at yesterday, and so yeah, it's very interesting, especially with the timeline of events, where it's been coming out, like you said, going down, coming in with the palms, etc.
So does that, I'm presuming then that means that Pancake Day, or whatever you want to call it, or Lent, is different every year, depending on what?
Yes.
The moon, the calendar?
Yes, so Easter it's the Easter Sunday is always the first Sunday. Well, it's the first Sunday after the spring equinox, which apparently is fixed on the 21st of March. And
okay.
yeah, it's quite interesting. So Easter Sunday can fall on any one of 35 days.
Okay.
So it does. It's a movable feast. It's always there. That's just how it is. It's and Pancake Day is 47 days before Easter Sunday.
Right. So you're going into Pancake Day, which then leads you into Lent, which then leads you into Easter, which for some religions starts on the Thursday. In the Roman Catholic religion, it starts on the Thursday into the Friday and the Saturday and the Sunday.
And the Sunday, yes.
Okay. So you're doing it this year? You're doing Lent?
I am.
What are you giving up?
Food.
Food in general?
Generally, well, I'm only going to do half day, so I will be fasting. Look, bear in mind, well, for those who know that I come from a blended family. I'm half and half, and
half and half of what?
Muslim and Christian.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Christianity is easier. It's in English. That's it. Let's just leave that one there. So no, in the past I've given up things and stuff, and then one day what was I going to give up? And then I just thought, why am I giving this up? And when I really looked at the reason why I was giving up, I thought that's not what Lent is about. So I didn't do it, and I haven't done it for a while. And then for some reason it kind of popped up and I think it's the crossover with Ramadan, because obviously that's happened 2 years in a row. It's kind of made me think, because obviously I have people around me. My bestie, she actually did the proper whole fast for the whole of the 40 days last year, which meant she was fasting on my birthday. And I just thought, oh, maybe I'll do it with you next year. But of course, as it got nearer, I'm like, oh my God, I can't give up food for a whole day. I'm going to die. So I'm only doing half days to begin with, just to see. I was talking, so I'll be doing half days. So I'm going to do from 6 to 1.
Is that the morning?
Yes.
Okay. But with Ramadan, you're not giving up food for the whole day anyway.
Well, you are.
The whole daylight hours.
Sunrise, light hours. So from when the sun comes up
Yeah.
until the sun goes down. So like I was speaking to my colleague here today. I was asking her, well, what time did you wake up for your breakfast? And they woke up at 4 something.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to eat until the sun goes down, which I think today is around, is it like 10 to 6? I can't remember what time it's going down.
It's about 6-ish, yeah.
So it's daylight hours, but it's not a whole day. In my head, that's not a whole day, because there's still a period of time from 6 or 7 that I can then eat if I wanted to, if I was going to do that.
You've got.
Well, are you thinking that we have to replicate what Jesus did and not eat for 40 days and drink for 40 days?
No.
Because
that doesn't.
I kind of feel you're casting a bit of shade there.
No, not at all. What I was saying was in my head, those daylight hours do not equate to the whole of the day. There is still, in those 24 hours, there's still time for me to eat.
Oh, well,
yeah. But what you've got to then realise is that you've been fasting all day. When you do eat, you're not wanting to eat too much anyway.
No.
Yeah.
To break your fasts, you're eating very, very little. Which is why if you go into any shops now, at the minute, you would have trouble getting hold of fruit, because everyone starts off with something like a fruit. You need that refreshing start to your breaking your fast.
Do you? Okay.
So you're having your prayer time and you're breaking your fast and needing to get some sleep, and then do you decide that you're going to wake up early to have breakfast in the morning, or is it enough that you've eaten the night before? And it's just trying to get your whole.
Mr. Sir, remember that they are still living a normal life. They're working.
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing all of that malarkey. I actually think, oh my God, how do you do it? So yeah.
I mean, obviously it's been there for however many thousands of years, and we live in a multicultural town, so it's there around us all the time. But I think when I worked in an office, well, I didn't work in an office. When I worked when I was a manager in social care, we had a young girl working in the office, and she was fasting every year. And that is when I really, really saw it, because she's there in the office with me. And you can then literally see during those hours of 9 to 5 that she's not eating, when she was feeling tired, all of those things. So I think then I really, really appreciated the enormity of it, because she was actually there in front of me, next to me, as she was doing it, and telling me that she got up at silly o'clock to make sure that she was coming to eat to then get through that day.
Like my next door neighbour at the moment, because she's got the bigger house, she might end up with one of the days during the fast actually have all her family come here.
Yeah.
So you're actually cooking but not being able to eat it until
whenever.
And then being up earlier to make sure it's prepared. So, there's a lot that.
Last time I was at home during Ramadan, it was like that in our house. We would come. I was there with my husband. Obviously, we were not really practicing, but my mum and my stepdad, all of them, they were all doing it. And people would come, literally. We would, even though we were not practicing, we were there. And, so you participated. There'd be so many people coming. They would all come. They would do the prayer, like you said, and stuff. So
there's a lot to it. And if you think, I mean, for people going back to like Pancake Day, and if you're actually observing Lent, the idea being that you're giving one thing up to make you remember those things that then happened. So it is like for the Catholic Church, it is a penitence that they use that word a lot. But some people that I know would give things up for Lent, and it wouldn't be anything that they were actually really needing to give up, or like it's, I'm going to give up chocolate, but you never really eat chocolate anyway. It's just
That'd be me.
But that's what happened.
I would do.
Exactly. That's what happened with me, and that's why I stopped doing it, because I caught myself. But it's easier. It's easily done because we're used to it. It's all part of it. I've got a book the book is called The Journey Through Lent, and I was just thumbing through it yesterday, and obviously it's not just the food. It's it was said how you don't complain, don't do this, don't do that. So I'm like, oh, Grandma. Complaining is my handbag. Harley, why are you telling me not to carry my handbag? And I was, but it is stuff like that. And I remember reading in another book, there was a fellowship book for women a few years ago when they were talking about fasting. And the woman said, look, at the end of the day, right, it's about you and that commune and penitence with God. If you can't give up food, you don't have to give it up. And if you don't want to give up chocolate or biscuits or whatever, you can give up other things that mean things to you, like magazines. So she started like giving up magazines. This was back in the day when we actually did buy magazines, and the other thing as well, I did 1 year, although I didn't complete it because I don't know what happened, but you have the 40 acts of kindness. So they would email you every day, and you could, you do an act of kindness during that period. I mean,
40 days worth.
Sorry?
40 days worth.
Yeah. So, Sil, What are you trying to say? That you couldn't be kind for 40 days in a row?
I don't know.
Yeah, no swearing for 40 days.
You know, that would be so hard for me. If I gave up, and I'm not going to, so don't even bother saying, why don't you do that? If I gave up swearing for 40 days, I don't even think I would last a day. I literally don't think I'd last a day. That's why I would never do one of the, you know, people put those swear pots. Well, I'd be broke. I'd be literally broke. Because it just happens. It just comes out naturally. It just, yeah, I can't do that. Yeah.
So yeah, stuff like
it would, even for like Pancake Day itself, I don't know whether, I mean, some of the shops weren't even making a big thing of, oh, make sure you've got all your ingredients for Pancake Day this year.
Oh, really?
I specifically went and looked for it because I had the thought just before that, oh, actually, no, it's Pancake Day next week. But I hadn't come across anything to remind me that it was. Whereas normally I had by that point, because there was always a stand or it was something somewhere. And I actually had sort of our friend of Deez, Danny, our PC guy. He asked if there was anything that his cohesion team could actually go out to today for Pancake Day. And there's nothing in Luton. There's nothing in the surrounding villages other than Olney. Olney is the only thing that I can see that they're celebrating Pancake Day. Whereas if you think back not so many years ago, all these villages had all these things on the village green. That you had the Pancake Day, you had May Day festivals, you had like your Morris dancers, you had like the Wicker Men, and it was everything. All these villages have stopped doing all that kind of stuff around here now.
Is that because they are not village? The villages have changed, because many moons ago, if you lived in that village, it's very likely that your family members are in that village. You've been in the village the whole of your life. You know, ancestors have been in that village. It was that whole mentality around. That's where you lived and stayed. Whereas now, people are moving in and out of villages, and sometimes people are moving into them when they want to slow down, as opposed to having already been there, or that, you know, they've been in the town and then they want to retire. All of those things. Maybe that's why there isn't that village mentality that's still there.
I think since all the lockdowns as well, I mean, because there were so many, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that. Things like that haven't started back up again.
Things have stopped.
Yeah,
it's a pity, actually, to be sincere. It's actually quite a pity. Because it means that's why when you asked the question at the beginning of the show, I said, what glasses are you wearing? Because it's just everything. I mean, I had one to the. I know people always say, oh, well, you know, Christianity stole a lot of the pagan, this and that. You know, it is what it is. It's linked. That's done. It's linked. That's it. And that's how it's gone. And that's probably a separate conversation anyway. But it's the lack of knowledge and interest that I find really sad.
Well, I was just thinking, how many children do you think actually know what Lent is, what it's about, why it's there? You know, if you go to a church that's a school that is religion based, so Catholic school, you've got Church of England schools, they may then know, but other schools, maybe they don't, especially if they're schools and it's, you know, there's a bit of a it's wonderful being in a multicultural town. However, there are going to be schools that don't celebrate one, you know, they've got to take on board every religion, which means they don't do anything. They then don't do anything at all.
It's sad. I mean, I was brought up in a church. I was brought up in a Methodist church, and they have well, I don't know whether all Methodist churches are like it, but our one in particular was we would join with other faiths and celebrate them. So whether we go to their place of worship or they come to us, so we all learn a little bit about each other. And I love that. That's what I love about Luton. But there's still some people that it's, oh no, you stick to your own. And I can't get it. It was like, no, I want to be out and I want to be celebrating with you. If you've got a big celebration or something, we should all be celebrating each other's.
Do you think it's because of the it's the PC brigade and the conditioning that we are put into that makes people? I personally feel it dulls people's natural curiosity about things, because obviously, like you said, you had that experience through church, so you got exposed to it. But if you happen to go to a school like the one that Cecile was describing, and while the kids will all be really happy, they will play with each other, etc., they wouldn't necessarily know about each other's faith, and then by the time it's the curiosity comes, the roots are already set, and then they get concerned about asking because they don't want to be seen as silly, or they don't want to be seen as racist or phobic or whatever. I think that would play a bit of a part.
I worked in a call centre, and I'll always use this as sort of like explaining how I don't understand all religions. I don't go to church, but I know enough of little bits about it all. And we had one of our girls, her father died, so we knew that he would be taken back home, as you are, quite quickly, buried quite quickly. So I was saying, if we're doing flowers for her and the family, we need to do it really quite quickly. We need to get them there because they might not be home. So they said, yep, fine. We'll do the collection afterwards. Here's the company credit card, pay for the flowers. So I've called through to the florist and I've asked for white flowers. And she said, oh, why is it white? And I said, that is their funeral colour. That is their death colour. They wouldn't want any colours. It's white. She goes, oh, I've never heard of that before. Just put all these different, and I said, I don't care what flowers they are, we're just as white as possible, white in the greenery, whatever. So she said, yep, fine, not a problem. I'll just put them all together and we'll get them out straight away for you. Because I said, don't know whether they're going to be there. She gets the flowers just as they are then arranging for him to be put in his like flight box, if you like. Those flowers went with him home because she said they were perfect. They were white and it just fitted it. And her mum said, I want to take them with us.
Okay.
Just because I knew that little bit that they needed to be white flowers and they needed to be there soon, that everything just fitted into it. Just because I knew. I mean, there's been a couple of times where we've gone to work in the same place where we worked. I've gone into work things and I automatically kick my shoes off at the door. And everyone kept going, what are you doing? Well, if that's what they do, that's what I'm doing. It's that they just didn't get what it was. And then there was one time where no one they said they were going to go around to someone's house, and I said, have you got a scarf for a head covering? Well, do we have to? And I said, I personally do that because I know that is what they observe. So I'm doing it. So I've got a couple of headscarves here that I've always had that, just to cover yourself to then go in. Silly, just little things like that just makes it's you're an ally. That's all I then put it down to. It's an ally. It's I know enough about you that I'm going to observe what you observe. I don't want to, to be.
Do you think
place.
With the responses that you got, like when you said about have you got scarf and do we have to do that? Do you think that's ignorance, as in, well, I'm not of that faith or that culture, so I don't have to do that? Is that where that comes from?
I don't know whether it's an ignorance. For me, it's just that people just don't think.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably
I
a lack
suppose
of knowledge and
if
not
they don't
thinking.
have any religion at all in their background,
Yeah.
they possibly wouldn't think. Like, as quite a few of you know, I've been in guiding and scouting. They changed the promise that you make. And even me as a child, I always then said, well, as part of the promise, you're promising to God. Now we've got all these different cultures and religions coming in. You wouldn't necessarily say God because you don't believe in, because it was originally set up all those years ago that it was a Church of England or a Catholic God. Then you could get away with saying that. Now you reword it. So your promise that you make in scouting reflects that you might and then have a different religion, because it's then your God, or you don't even say God at all.
So do they do that as a whole, as in across the whole of scouting then?
Yeah, scouting and guiding both change their promise. So you can either say like my God, so it's like it's personal to you, or you don't say God at all. But you are making that promise to scouting, and you are making that promise to the monarch. So it would, for me, my promise was Queen, to retain everyone in scouting and guiding. When the Queen died and the King became king, everyone had to retake their promise, because they're then making a promise to the king and country.
I like that. Maybe we did that as well, because I was in the Brownies and then I was in Girls Brigade. We must have done something very similar.
Girls Brigade is very similar, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's weird how all those changes come about, and I presume that the whole thing with Lent is because not many people are going to church now.
No.
The churches that I know of around here are busier on the Saturday because it's a gospel Pentecostal church that the church gets
the Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah, it's used on a Saturday. Yeah. Way busier on the Saturday than it is for a normal church service on a Sunday.
Yeah. There's
a few of them around me here that are like that.
Quite sad, really. I think in some respects, for some people, it's quite sad that, you know, those numbers are now dwindling. And again, COVID wouldn't have helped.
No.
Because, you know, you had to either not go at all or do online, and if you were elderly and had no access to that, then you didn't get to go at all.
Even when you was, this is one of the things that my mum couldn't get her head around. When you was allowed into church and you could space, you still wasn't allowed to sing.
Yeah.
Like, because
why am I allowed in church and I can't sing? What's the point?
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's not really quite, but yeah. So that puts people up as well.
It's interesting. It is, because you were saying a little bit earlier about the shops. I mean, I was in Tesco on Sunday and I went down where the eggs and the flour and all that is, and there was nothing. Now I think about it, there was absolutely nothing there saying, have you got your eggs and your flour and your lemon juice and what have you ready for Pancake Day? Nothing. And they normally
that's quite interesting, because really, well, it is what it is. That's what I saw. So when I went into Tesco and other places, the one here, what's it called? Asda. I didn't see, but I wasn't particularly looking. But obviously they did have loads of big things going on for Ramadan.
Right.
And this is the thing. I just don't understand. It's not as if the two things are... Is that the correct word? I always get it wrong, but you know what I mean. It's not that because they did for Ramadan, they can't do for Lent.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? And
Yeah.
I just find it. I mean, I would never. I'm not offended by it or anything. I'm just quite curious. And
It's interesting. It is interesting because Tesco's, the big Tesco's, as you go in, you've literally got there was a lot of stuff down there for Ramadan.
Yeah.
And then you then go to that next aisle is where all those other things are, where they could have had Pancake Day signs. Because normally you walk in and then there'll be a sign and don't forget to get your pancake mix or don't forget to get your gin.
Then they'll be promoting the frying pans and everything.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and I think obviously because me with my head my doom scrolling, I saw about that man, the MP for Clacton, what's he called, Mr. Farage, and as I'm saying it now, I'm thinking to myself, I'm surprised he hasn't said anything about. Sorry, I couldn't. Oh my Lord. But, going back to this thing as well, I don't know if we've spoken about it before, but did you know that our Mother's Day, as in Mothering Sunday, is actually linked to the church as well? And I can't remember the number of days now because I didn't bring my book. So it goes back to the days when you were allowed to send your children out to go and work, and they would let the children come back, typically around that time, and they would go visit their mum.
Okay.
On Sunday, yeah, and then they would
I didn't even know that
together.
I didn't know that was why it. Okay.
And it always falls. I can't remember. I did count it yesterday because I did a post about this last time, and I just thought, I wonder if those numbers I said are correct. And I counted, and it's like, yeah, because Mother's Day this year is on the 30th of March, and is it that what the 30th of March? Yeah, so I can't remember. It's 35 days after. Anyway, the number of days between Mothering Sunday and all the other key days of Easter are also fixed as well.
Yeah, it all kind of fits in. Yeah.
So Mothering Sunday falls on the 4th Sunday of Lent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
So Mothering Sunday will depend on when Easter falls, which will depend on this, which depends. Yeah. So they're all connected. Okay.
It is nice to know, and it is a pity the way things are. But at the end of the day, people will. It's also a reflection of. I don't really want to use that word, but it's a reflection of democracy, freedom of will, etc. That people can do and practice and identify as they want. So
yeah, all the origins of all these different days are completely watered down to what we actually now do.
Oh yeah. I mean, the site I was reading on yesterday said there has been talk of actually fixing Easter, and I'm thinking to myself, but why would you want to do that?
Right. If they do that, so why do they want to do that?
I don't know. It was said.
I think the argument was something to do with because if you've got Christmas for Christians being on one day, why can't Easter be on one day?
Because Easter is based around Lent, which is then based around that, which is then based around that. And we're okay with that. We've come to terms with that. Why would they need to change it? Who wants to change it?
Money.
Yeah.
In a rich man's world.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a reason. There's always a reason. And the reason is not because of something nice. It's going to become... That's what we need to do for, why is it
workplaces, for schools,
They've been managing it for years and years and years. Why do they need to change it now?
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, there was just talk of it. They haven't said they're going to, so yeah.
So, according to Wikipedia, Mothering Sunday, which does that whole Lent, etc., was also to enable families to reunite and visit their mothers, especially those who worked away from home as servants.
Yeah.
So they would then get that Sunday, most probably morning, afternoon off.
Yeah.
To go and see their,
I mean, that's the whole thing of when Boxing Day comes about, isn't it? It's the whole
Boxing Day. That's what they used to open their presents on Boxing Day, didn't they? Back in the day.
So is that again for servants to then be able to go and see their family?
Yeah.
How we've commandeered that now. We get 2 days for ourselves.
But yeah, but if you think about it quite often, because again, working in call centres, we the time that I was at NTL, that we were a call centre that was 24 hours of some description, 7 days a week. So Christmas Day, I would work, so the people that had kids could be off. And I said, but you have to work my Boxing Day, because my Boxing Day was then different in our family. That you would go around and see the other kids'
Christmas Day. Yeah.
So that'd be the time that we would get together, because those with the kids that were going around to see grandparents and bits and pieces and everything else, it was a thing for Christmas Day. But for me being the auntie, it was then, no, we do our Boxing Day. So I say, right, okay, you take my. I don't mind doing your Christmas Day, but you got to take my Boxing Day. For me, that's my Christmas Day.
I wonder how many of the days that there are throughout the year have been commandeered by society and money and
greeting cards days.
Hallmark,
yeah.
Valentine's Day being more pagan than anything else, and it's now a greetings card day. Don't do anything for Valentine's Day. Don't be stupid.
Oh my God. Right.
Okay, so today is Shrove Tuesday. I'm moving on to tomorrow. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. So today is Shrove Tuesday. And before we finish then, what are you putting in your pancakes? Are you cooking pancakes, the two of you?
I'm going to have them for dessert. I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm torn, because I was saying there, I've got some curry sauce at home that somebody made that I had a taste of. It's really nice. I was thinking, I could make some savoury pancakes and have it with the curry sauce. Yeah. And then I've got these chocolate ones, but then again, I'm quite partial to the lemon and sugar, so I don't know. I will see how I feel when I get home.
See, my husband has to have dark brown sugar and lemon.
Oh, really?
Really dark, or just a mustarada?
Like the molasses, dark brown, soft sugar.
Okay.
Lemon.
Because
that's what he always used to have, and he prefers that taste.
Okay.
And then I do a random selection of, because I'm a baker, I've got all sorts of different stuff in my baking cupboard. So yeah, I could have marshmallows, I could have chocolate spread, I could have anything really. But I do love going back to tradition of sugar and lemon.
Yeah. That's my go-to, would be sugar and lemon. We've got bananas, so I might put some of that in.
See, I quite like sugar and lemon, and I've got some Granny Smiths in the fridge. Granny Smith apples with it. It's nice and sharp.
No, I would bring bananas and peanut butter.
Apples.
It's sweet and sharp. Yeah.
No, there's no need for sharp. Yeah.
That's apples.
It's got to be sweet. It's got to be sweet. Yeah, mine will be sugar and lemon, and I'll look at the banana, and I will think you could put that in, and I bet you I won't. I'll just do that. However, when I was in Amsterdam, I had pancakes with sugar, banana, caramel, ice cream. I only had one lot. That was fabulous, but that was
it sounds really nice.
When I go down to, I haven't been down for the last couple of years, but when I've done the Winter Wonderland in Hyde Park, they do the pancakes or the crepes there, and it's when they do the spiced sugar lemon. So you got a bit of cinnamon and stuff in with it, in with the syrup. That's nice.
Okay. Okay, so if you are having, actually, before we do this, do the banner. Where's the banner? I can't find the
Four.
banner.
We have 2 events with our girls coming up. I did double check. Voices and Newborn Queens does still have tickets. Last year was absolutely amazing.
It was fantastic. Yeah, it's well worth it. Get your ticket. 15th of March, 7 p.m. till 10:30 p.m.
It's my birthday.
Are you going to be doing something slightly different? Are you going out? What are you doing?
I haven't
doesn't know.
decided.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. Yeah.
But if you're not going out with Nico for her birthday, then get yourself a ticket to go and see Voices of Nubian Queens, which is down at Luton Library Theatre. And you can go on Ticket Source to get your ticket. It is fantastic. Honestly, it really is fantastic. And our second event, we've got
the other one coming up at the end of the month, Saturday 29th of March. Our friend V is doing her hysterectomy and beyond conference. This time in person and all day, 10 till 5. Not at the same place in Milton Keynes. It's just across the road. So it's the same road as the hotel we had last time, but it's it's across the main road. And so she's still got tickets for that too. And that one's on Eventbrite.
And that one, again, info. It just, the info that they share, you will not leave there without listening and hearing something that you didn't know. You literally didn't know.
She's got some new people there this time as well because it's a full day. She's got still got the same people we had last time, but we've got some new people to add to it. So it's not just fibroids, it's not just hysterectomy, it's any women's health. But could be women of a certain age, but it's all to do with sort of like your women's health and your cycles and everything else. So a lot of information and a lot of fun actually.
And if you're going, if you want to get a ticket or you've already got a ticket, take your husband along as well. Take your fella along as well, because actually they need to hear these things so that they are in the know as well. It's really important. Hi, Kerry. What are you putting on your pancakes if you're having pancakes? Are you having pancakes tonight? What are you putting on them? So,
and talking to Kerry, I haven't actually put a banner up, but we talked about Mother's Day earlier. Kerry's got her events going on for Mother's Day, and it is shared on our page. So I shall prompt that back up again after we finish this show as well. Just thinking on that. So yeah,
if you want a little something, somewhere to take your mum, strawberries. Strawberries with what? Lemon and strawberries, or strawberries and cream? Oh, strawberries and cream. Cream on the pancake.
Oh, you might, if you're doing it, you might as well do, because it is you're using up all the fat, so it doesn't go to waste.
But if I haven't got any, can I go and buy the cream? Does that actually have any in my fridge? But
clotted cream.
Buy some
cream.
Oh my god! I tell you what, I would have on my pancakes if I had any left was what you gave me, Cecile, the peaches in brandy. That would work a treat.
We finished the last jar on Friday. Had one jar left. It was Courtney's birthday last week. He cooked dinner and we had that for our afters. See, it's a bit late now. So come Christmas, I need to get an extra jar ready to save for pancake day. I like that.
Well, there are some people that would have bought the turkey at Christmas after Christmas when they went on sale and had it in the freezer ready for Easter. My mum always used to do that after, My friend, I think my friend's got a turkey ready in her freezer for Easter.
And that's where it comes. So, as West Indian, we do Friday, on Good Friday, we just only eat fish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Only eat fish.
And
that's a bigger day. That's a bigger day than the Sunday.
Yeah.
A bigger day than the Sunday. Anyway, we will talk again next week about Kerry's event that's on Mother's Day. Enjoy your not your peaches. If you've got peaches, then enjoy them as well. But enjoy your pancakes if you're having any. Let us know if you've watched this later on and what you're going to be eating. And we will see you all next week.